What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be reacting to Manchester City's fixture schedule that is out, of course, for the 2024-2025 season in the Premier League. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Which fixture are you most looking forward to in the season? Do let me know in the comments below and why. And also don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. That would be absolutely brilliant. So we're going to crack on with this video. Schedule, of course, has come out. It's already been confirmed that Manchester City's opening game for the domestic season is going to be in the Community Shield, where we're going to be taking on the FA Cup winners, which was, of course, Manchester United beating City at Wembley. With City winning the Premier League, it sets up the first domestic game of the season, ready and waiting. So Manchester City against Manchester United at Wembley Stadium, that will be taking place on the 10th of August, and then the following weekend will be the first weekend of the Premier League. Manchester City, their first game is going to be on Sunday. It's been announced it's going to be on television, that game, and we're going to be starting the season away from home against Chelsea. Pep Guardiola taking on his former assistant manager in Enzo Maresca, former Leicester manager, now taken over at Chelsea. Should be a really interesting game. Of course, City dropping points at Stamford Bridge last season in a very entertaining game. Will be a very attacking game. Chelsea will be thinking not ideal start to the season to have Manchester City in the first game. Alternatively, my way of thinking here is, yeah, we've got to play every team twice. So you've got to face all teams at some point in the season, so whether that be in match day number 1 or match day number 19, and then, you know, match day number 20 for the second half of the season and on to match day number 38, it doesn't really matter. You've got to face everybody at some point, and obviously that's what makes being Premier League champions so great. It's over a marathon season that sets the best away from the rest. You don't win a Premier League through luck. You've got to earn your way to the title, and it's the same for every single team, and it's no different for the upcoming season. So Chelsea away will be difficult, won't be an easy game at all. Should be a really good game of football though, and hopefully City can rise to the occasion and put in a really good, strong display and try and get off to a perfect start to the season, and getting rid of a tricky away game as well. And just having a look at the first 6 games, very tricky away games. Chelsea, West Ham, Newcastle, not easy games at all for Manchester City. So we're going to have to really hit the ground running and get off to a nice quick start to ensure that there are no teams out there getting any advantages over us. Going nice and early against Arsenal on September 21st as well at the Etihad Stadium. It could be a massive game, even though it's only the 5th game into the Premier League season. It could be a huge game come the end of the season. So yeah, massive games right at the beginning of the season. Ipswich will be happy in their first away match of the season, taking on Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium, and then West Ham completing August with our match on the 31st of August. And then that takes us to the international break. After that, into September, it's a home match against Brentford, followed by a home match against Arsenal, and then an away match against Newcastle. Into October, home match against Fulham, away match against Wolves, and a home match against Southampton. Remember, there will be League Cup games and Champions League games spread about amongst these games as well. So you look at things and say, oh, we're only playing 3 times in October. Of course, City progress in the League Cup, you're going to have 1 game there. I imagine there'll be 2 games for the Champions League as well, so it fills up the schedule very nicely. And then heading into November, it's going to be a very important, very big November for Manchester City. Of course, it is expected that the 115 charges will be heard, and Manchester City will be in a clearer position about what's going to happen with their future, as to whether the charges will be dropped or if they're found guilty, what the punishment will be. So I think there's going to be a huge fallout through November and into December. So looking at some of the games in there, Man City could off the field be potentially distracted, so on the field got to remain focused. Away matches against Bournemouth and Brighton Brighton. Not easy. Takes us into international break after that. Tottenham at home. Liverpool away to complete November into December. Home match against Nottingham Forest on the 4th midweek of December. Away match against Crystal Palace. A home match against Manchester United as well. Not going to be easy. An away match against Aston Villa just before Christmas. Boxing Day match against Everton at home. Away match against Leicester City as well to complete 2024. Very busy December. As I said, there could be a big fallout off the field as well. So Manchester City, they have to remain focused here. That is the key for this season, I think, as to whether Man City win the Premier League or not, what happens with the charges, but also what happens with Man City's focusing into the season. Then heading into the new year and towards the second half of the season, home matches against West Ham, away match against Brentford, away match against Ipswich, and a home match against Chelsea in January into February. You've got an away match against Arsenal, a home match against Newcastle, home match against Liverpool, and an away match against Tottenham Hotspur. Into March, as I said, they'll start putting more cup competitions, FA Cup matches, Champions League matches, and so on in there. So March will look a little bit busier than just an away match against Nottingham Forest and a home match against Brighton. And then heading into the business end of the season, the final 9 games for Manchester City, I'm pretty happy with that. Home match against Leicester City, away match against Manchester United, home against Crystal Palace, away against Everton, a home match against Aston Villa, a home match against Wolves, away match against Southampton, a home match against AFC Bournemouth, and an away match to end the season against Fulham. Now, some of you guys might be wondering why we're starting the season away from home and then ending the season away from home, but that's happening due to Manchester City. Normally we have concerts at the Etihad, so we would request to be away from home first game of the season just to give the pitch an extra week's recovery time. However, I presume this is just due to the expansion going on. City want an extra week of construction work going on with nobody around, so they've requested to be away from home first game of the season. And considering we was at home last season, lifting the Premier League, I always expected us to be away from home for this end of this season. That could well be, if Pep Guardiola doesn't sign a new contract, his final game in charge of Manchester City in the Premier League will be down in West London in an away match against Fulham in what will hopefully be Man City either lifting the trophy or, if things go really right, doing it in the final home game against Bournemouth in the penultimate game of the season. We'll have to wait and see. As I said, wait for the schedules for the League Cup, FA Cup and Champions League as well, because it starts to mess with the schedule, but you've got a rough idea about what's going to be happening on each game week in the Premier League, and seeing the schedule actually coming out makes me so excited for the upcoming season, and hopefully Man City can make it 5 in a row. What a time to be alive. And of course, got all the excitement of the transfer window coming into fruition as well. So looking forward to that. We will be having the daily series returning from today for the rest of the summer. You have my word on that for you guys to enjoy. So do stay tuned later on today with a daily Manchester City transfer update. All in all, very happy with that schedule. Looking forward to it. I think my personal highlight game that's really standing out, I'd say that nice early home game against Arsenal. Really looking forward to that. Should be a really good test for both sides to see where they are at when it comes to potentially winning the Premier League. But maybe Arsenal, maybe City, maybe Liverpool. You imagine they'd be the top 3 teams, but you know, you never know. From the transfer window, you might see Manchester United, you might see Tottenham Hotspur, you might see Chelsea, you might see another team making an assault for the Premier League title. It's unpredictable. We'll have to wait and see. What I will guarantee, though, is Man City will finish the season strong. City will be up there, pending what happens with 115 charges. 2024-2025 season promises to be a very entertaining and interesting year. So stay tuned. So there we go. There'd be my thoughts. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, including which game you're most looking forward to for the 2024-2025 season. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. And do subscribe. It is free to subscribe. And I'll see you all later on today for my daily Manchester City transfer update. But I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.